From off a hill whose concave womb reworded a plaintful story from a sistering vale, my spirits to attend this double voice accorded, and down I laid to list the sad tune tale. Break time equals one's ere long espied a fickle maid full pale. Break time equals one's tearing of papers, breaking rings eight twain. Break time equals one's storming her world with sorrow's wind and rain. Break time equals one's upon her head a plaited hive of straw. Break time equals one's which fortified her visage from the sun. Break time equals one's whereon the thought might think sometime it saw. Break time equals one's the carcass of beauty spent and done. Break time equals one's time had not scythed all that youth begun. Break time equals one's nor youth all quit, but, spite of heaven's fell rage, break time equals one's some beauty peeped through lattice of seared age. Break time equals one's oft did she heave her napkin to her eyne. Break time equals one's which on it had conceited characters. Break time equals one's laundering the silken figures in the brine. Break time equals one's that seasoned woe had palliated in tears. Break time equals one's and often reading what contents it bears. Break time equals one's as often shrieking undistinguished woe. Break time equals one's in clamors of all size, both high and low. Break time equals one's sometimes her lay veiled eyes their carriage ride, as they did battery to the spheres intend. Break time equals one's sometime diverted their poor balls are tied to the orbed earth, sometimes they do extend. Break time equals one's their view right on, anon their gazes lend to every place at once, and, nowhere fixed, the mind and sight distractedly comics apostrophe d. Break time equals one's her hair, nor loose nor tied in formal plait. Break time equals one's proclaimed in her careless hand of pride. Break time equals one's for some, untucked, descended her sheaved hat, hanging her pale and pine cheek beside, some in her threaden fillet still did bide. Break time equals one's and true to bondage would not break from thence, though slackly braided in loose negligence. 1,000 favors from amon she drew of amber, crystal, and a beaded jet. Break time equals one's which one by one she in a river threw, upon whose weeping margent she was set, like usury, applying wet to wet. Break time equals one's or monarch's hands that let not bounty fall where want cries some, but where excess begs all. Break time equals one's of folded schedules had she many a one, which she perused, sighed, tore, and gave the flood. Break time equals one's cracked many a ring of posied gold and bone, bidding them find their sepulchres in mud, found yet mo letters sadly penned in blood. Break time equals one's with slided silk feet and affectedly enswathed, and sealed to curious secrecy. Break time equals one's these often bathed she in her fluxive eyes. Break time equals one's and often kissed, and often gone to tear, cried O false blood, thou register of lies. Break time equals one's what unapproved witness dost thou bear. Ink would have seemed more black and damned here. This said, in top of rage the lines she rents. Break time equals one's big discontent so breaking their contents,